Tashidele to everyone. So, as I was requested for another session of teaching, I thought since we already went through the practice of the Tonglen, so we can do some practice on the Tonglen. So I thought that was a good idea. And so a few days back, we were very fortunate to have the privilege to receive profound teaching from a very precious Guru Vajradhara, His Holiness Thangpa. So, and on a very profound topic, the power of mind. So now continuing with that as the base to our practice, then I wish to further with the Tomlin practice, keeping the profound teaching of precious Guru as the base. So that is my request to all of you. So today's session, I would put it into, let's say, two kind of part. The first part to teach and practice today. So today is a a little bit of explanation of the teaching on the topic, and then along with that, doing a practice itself. So that is my idea. So that way, and then the first part, practice of the Tonglen practice, starting with the Schemata meditation practice as the preliminary foundation to the Tonglen practice. Then the second part to have the question answer round. As I have been told and sent quite a few questions, I think related to previous teachings, as well as some personal questions. So since we didn't have much time in the previous sessions, so I thought we could proceed with the question answer in this session. So some some questions seem to be overlapping each other. So those kind of questions, I think a single answer should, kind of satisfy both questions. And some questions, I think, going through the teaching practice today, I think it should be clear. So I don't think we need to touch on certain questions. And the remaining, then I will try to go through as much as possible. As we know, the time is limited. So depending on the time, I try to cover up as much question as possible. So that is the rough idea of today's teaching or session. So now the first part of the session, starting with Schemata meditation, and then proceeding to the practice of Tonglen meditation practice. In order to have a good meditation practice of Tonglen or Schemata, we have to be able to build the base well for this. Tonglen and Schemata are practice dealing with the state of one's mind. The more calm and workable mind we are able to achieve, the more profound our Tonglen and Schemata practice is going to be. Now we know that we are represented through our body, speech, and mind. These are all interconnected. So in order to have a calm and workable mind, it is very important to achieve the most appropriate state of body and speech. As precious Guru Vajradhara already spoke on this during his precious teaching. So this means we should be able to develop a relaxed physical state of being or a relaxed body, and also a relaxed and calm the speech. We can achieve a calm, relaxed, and workable mind through this, as all these are interconnected. So these are the reason why we normally sit down in a nice environment and stay quietly when we do meditation practice. Especially for a beginner. Then as you develop, then of course, the physical surroundings, etc., not so much of a hindrance. But for people like us, it is very important to have a quiet, comfortable, nice surrounding, and then sit in a very relaxed state, and be quiet, and then starting off that way. Then with these conditions, then we are able to achieve a relatively calm, kind of a workable mind already. And of course, through that, then we do the meditations. So that is how it benefits us in our practice of meditation. Now, in this state of calm, relaxed, and workable state of mind, if we do anything like Schemata meditation or Tonglen meditation practice, so on and so forth, then it is very meaningful and very productive. If I give you an example, like a candle light, a lit candle, if you keep a lit candle in an environment where there is lots of wind, then the candle cannot produce the very strong light because the wind blows the flame, and that way the flame cannot produce the full efficiency of its light. Also, the flame we can see normally become very small, so when the surrounding is not calm. But on the other hand, if we light a candle in a room free of such disturbance, such as the wind around, then we can see that the candlelight is very calm. It's very still. And in that, then the light can produce the best efficiency, as in it is the most bright, and it is very still. So you can see the surroundings very clearly, and there is no danger of the candle being blown off. So that way, and then the efficiency of the candle becomes complete when the surroundings is perfect, calm. So that way, when the mind is calm, when it is workable, then the efficiency of our mind becomes best. Otherwise, when the mind is not calm, it is full of
mente non è calma ed è piena di confusione,
emotions, then the efficiency of the mind is greatly deteriorated or kind of obscured. So therefore, cannot perform in full efficiency. So therefore, very important to have the state of the calm, abiding, workable state. And then through this, if we do any practice, then it becomes a very efficient practice. So that is why it is very important to have these preliminary, the creating such a state first. And so for this, then first we sit nicely and comfortably with our back as upright as possible. If we can, we sit in the folded, the legs folded, and if not, then we sit on a chair. Then we place our right palm over the left palm, and then place it comfortably on our lap. Then we maintain a natural and relaxed, the gaze, the eye. So we normally the most comfortable is about arm's length. So that is the most comfortable, around here, arm's length. So we just keep a comfortable eye gaze. Or in the beginning, for lots, then keeping your eyes closed is also very comfortable and helpful. So one can keep the eyes closed also. So that way. Then if you want, you can, some people ask me, sometimes I see some people lying down and doing meditation, so I see many, I travel around and I see, and of course I cannot say anything, but normally it is preferred that if you can maintain, upright posture, especially the, back straight, and, so these postures have many meaning to them. It is not just for nothing, through these postures, automatically our afflictive emotions are somewhat reduced and controlled. And through this, then to achieve a calm, abiding, workable state of mind is, easier. So it has many reasons to it. And out of all these, then keeping the back straight is very important, because we say the central channel, it's run through, the like from the backbone, to the crown. So the central channel run through there, and so through these, the channel, the energy. So if I use, because exact English translation, I don't know, we said Tsalung Tigle, so like the energy passed through this. So that way, when it is straight, then the energy passed through without obstruction. And through non-obstruction, then, the afflictive emotions naturally able to calm down. So these are, there are many reasons. So that way, and then we try to maintain these positions, posture. So keeping these in mind, then we try to maintain all these as much as possible. So even if you are sitting on a chair, the main thing is to keep your, body, the upper body upright, as much as possible, the backbone straight, so that way. So of course, if you have physical, difficulties, then it is another case. Otherwise, we try to maintain as upright as possible. So and those postures are very important. Then, so maybe we can, okay, so let me explain a little more. And then with maintaining such a posture, and in the beginning, I would advise you close your eyes because it is better. Then we scan our entire body. We scan slowly and clearly, and precious Guru Vajradhara already touched on this. He already explained, so I'm sure all of you already understand. But if we once more go through this, and today we do the practice itself, so that we have a feeling of how it is. So now we scan our body with our eyes closed, and then right from the crown to the toe, then slowly and clearly, and telling ourselves to relax every muscles and ligaments in these body parts, and feeling them getting loosened and relaxed, maintaining the physical meditative posture as we have, as we are doing. Then, as Guru Vajradhara said, we feel our brain also relaxed and let go of every tension. So by focusing on the brain, or by focusing on the relaxation of the brain, everything that is connected to the brain is relaxed, as Guru said. And through all these above methods, we will be able to achieve a relatively relaxed mind, because our body and speech is now calm and relaxed and in sync with our mind. So that is the first meditation that we are going to do today. So now let us do the meditation. So we sit, first we just sit, as I told you, in a meditative state. So those sitting on the chair is fine. Those sitting who can sit with cross leg is also fine. Sometimes it helps if you have a thick cushion underneath you, so that it lifts you a little. It becomes easier, to sit cross-legged. So that way we just sit for a while, and then we, with our hands in the meditative mudra, then we place on the lap and close our eyes and just remain for a while. Then we tell ourselves to relax, scanning from the crown of our head, feeling every tension that we have, and we tell ourselves to relax them and feel them getting loose and relaxed. Every strand of hair, we feel and relax them. Then we feel the sensation on our forehead and all the tightness that we feel, we relax and loosen them. Then down to the eyebrow, again in the same way, we feel them all the tension, tightness, recognize that, and we loosen them and relax them. Then to our eyes, the eyeballs, we relax them. Then to our nose, in the same way. Then to our cheeks, we feel every sensation of tightness and we relax them. Then to our lips, and then to our tongue, we relax them. Then to the back of our head, we feel every sensation of tightness and relax them. Then our jaws, we relax them. Then our neck, the tension in the neck, we see them, recognize them, and we relax them. Then down to our shoulders, down to the arms, slowly, clearly scan them and relax them one by one. Down to the elbows, the forearm, the wrists, the palm, the fingers. Then we concentrate on the chest part and relax them. Then scan down the upper back gradually to the mid back and to the lower back, and loosen them and relax them. Then our stomach and our hips, then our glutes, then our thighs, then our knees, then our calves, our shins, our ankles, and our feet, the soles, the upper part of feet, and then the toes. So we just clearly, gradually, slowly, one by one, scan them, recognize the attention in them, and loosen them and relax them, and maintain this relaxed state. So you can do this again and again, or you can do once, slowly and nicely. So however, depending on your time, so we just remain in this way for some time, maintaining the meditative posture. And then we focus on the brain and relax the brain. Now, maintaining this relaxed state, then we can develop genuine devotion to the three jewels, knowing their qualities and take refuge to them. Then we generate genuine loving kindness, compassion to all mother-centered beings and take the bodhicitta vow and develop bodhicitta. If we are not Buddhist or don't wish to take refuge in bodhicitta, then that is also fine. But you sincerely try to develop genuine loving kindness, compassion to all beings, knowing that all of them are like yourself, wishing to be happy and free from suffering. So with this, then we recite the refuge and bodhicitta. I think we have kind of put on your screen. I think I've asked them to put on your screen. So hopefully you can read. So here, refuge, we will read in Tibetan, but the meaning already written here. So it means in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly, I go for refuge until enlightenment. By the merit created through generosity and so on, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all mother-centered beings. So that is the refuge and both bodhicitta. But to further establish our bodhicitta, then we further contemplate and read the four limitless thoughts. So which says, may all beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from the genuine happiness that is free of suffering. May they abide in great equanimity free from attachment and aversion to those near or far. So that is the bodhicitta. So we say this each because of time limit. So we can say one time, but very slowly and nicely. So refuge, normally we supplicate with the supplication mudra. Sangji chudang soji chonam Changju bardo dani chabsu ji nagi shinso jebi sunam ji dola penshir sangji drubar sho. We reflect on that. Trying to be as genuine and sincere as possible. Now the four limitless thoughts. Semjen tamje dewa dan devi judan dembara churji donghala dan donghala ji judan tawar churji donghala mebe dewa tamba dan mendawar churji nyering chadan nidan talve panyam chembola nebara churji. Again, we reflect on that. Trying as genuine and sincere as possible. Now, with this kind of developing a very noble state of mind, then we do the breathing Schemata meditation with this kind of a base, on this base. So, of course, Schemata meditation have many methods of meditation, but I have chosen the breathing Schemata meditation because it is very profound, yet very simple and very accessible. You can do such meditation wherever you are, whenever you can, so you can do. And also, breathing is so important. Here we are trying to achieve a mindful state of mind, an aware state of mind, a calm, abiding state of mind. So, in order to do this, we know that breathing is so important for us. Every moment we are breathing. If we don't breathe, we know what is the result. So, though it is so important to us, though we are breathing every moment, we are so distracted that we don't even realize that we are breathing. So that is how distracted we are. So using this very important breathing, which is very important for us, as the tool to rest our mind on and achieve the calm, abiding state of mind, then this kind of meditation practice of shamatha is very profound and very efficient. And you can do this anywhere, as I told you, because the breath never leaves you as long as you are alive. So there is no excuse, of not having the breath with you to do the meditation. And you don't need any extra, things to do this meditation because the breath is with you. You don't need anything. So that way, and it is very simple. So it is very profound practice. So normally in such meditation, and also the breath meditation is very beneficial for our well-being, physical well-being also. So not only mental well-being but physical well-being, because as we know, when our breathing pattern is fluctuating, not uniform, and then that brings many physical health issues. As we know, people who have the high blood pressure, etc., have very irregular breathing, irregular heartbeat, so breathing irregular. People with uniform breathing pattern have a very calm nature, and automatically brings a calm mind, a happy mind, a stable mind, and that then helps one to have the physical well-being, healthy body. So that way, it has many advantages, such practice. And then the breathing, as the meditation, and then we use like 21 breathing cycle. As taught in the Mahamudra, the cycle, each cycle of the breath consists of 4 patterns. So the 4 patterns are when you breathe out, that is 1. Then before breathing in, there's a pause there. And then you breathe in, that is the 3rd. And then there's a pause there before breathing out. So that way, there is 4 kind of a pattern. So in the Mahamudra, Ocean of Certainty, it is taught this way. So one can do the breathing, meditation by placing the awareness on the breath of such pattern, pattern consisting of the 4 stages. Or also, if one finds that too difficult, then also at this moment, you can just be aware of the breath that is going out and that is coming in. Also the breath going out and coming in. So one can focus on that also. So that way, then we do the breathing Schemata meditation. So one, pattern, the 4 pattern, or out and in. So that is considered as 1 cycle. Then again, the 2nd cycle. So this way we do 21 times. And so that is 21 breathing Schemata meditation. So this way, then when we are doing this kind of meditation, what we do is we just, breathe and then be aware of the breath. So the breath becomes like just a object for one's, to place one's mind on, the awareness on. So we aware of the breath. So here we are not trying to examine the breath, whether the breath pattern is long, whether the breath pattern is short, whether, the breath is, kind of fast, or whether it's slow, whether it's warm, whether it's cool, so we are not examining those factors. So what we are doing is we are just placing our mind on the breath, not the breath, being aware of this breath going in and out. So just that much, not examining it. So we use this breath. So here, then normally we are distracted by thoughts, thoughts of all kinds. Of course, the breathing is also, mind, thinking, of the breath. But then normally we think of so many things that we don't even know. We get lost. As I told you, we are breathing, but we don't recognize we are breathing. We are thinking all the time of all kinds of things, but we don't even know what we are thinking of. We are lost in these thoughts. But here, and then because it is a habit for us to completely, impossible to not think. So here we use one thought and then tame our mind with this one thought, and then gradually develop this ability of maintaining awareness, maintaining calm abiding state. So that way we make our mind, which is wild at the moment, then workable. And through this, then whatever we do, it becomes efficient, it becomes successful, it becomes profound. So that way. And then now, so as I said, then we try to maintain mindfulness and awareness. Awareness in Tibetan we say is Shijin, and mindfulness is Thangpa, so Tianxi. So awareness is knowing exactly what we are doing while we are doing it. And mindfulness is having control of our mind and not letting it run out of control. So simply put. So when we meditate, then we should not follow a thought of the past. We should not anticipate the future. And we should not be involved with thoughts of the present and entertain them. So these three instructions is very important to keep in mind. So we should not follow the thoughts of the past, because past is past, is no more. So it is irrelevant. We should not anticipate the future, because future is not yet. So we don't know. It is just kind of a irrelevant fabrication. So no use getting distracted with the future thoughts. Then we should not be involved in the the present thoughts and entertain them. That means when you are meditating, thoughts will come. You cannot stop thoughts. Like precious Guru said, meditating doesn't mean we stop thinking. It's impossible to stop thinking. So as he said, doing meditation itself, thinking of meditating itself is a thought. So it's impossible to have no thoughts. But how to tackle is important. So here we don't go after the thoughts. We don't get distracted, influenced by the thoughts, by keeping these three things in mind. So we let the thought come and don't entertain them. And if we don't entertain them, they have nowhere to go but dissolve into the very state of what they are, that is the emptiness. So that way, the present thoughts come, but we don't entertain. If we entertain them, we get lost in them. But we don't entertain them, let it be as it is. It has nowhere but to dissolve into its own, a very state of emptiness. So, for example, I give you, supposing there's a very naughty small child next to you, and you are trying to do something, say trying to meditate or doing something. So if the child, keeps disturbing you, and you get irritated and try to push away the child, or if you play with the child become more, disturbance to you. If you try to stop the child from playing, the child will still, become more, disturbing to you. But if you don't entertain the child, and if you just do what you are doing and let the child be as it is, in the beginning, the child may be, kind of disturbing you a little bit. But after some time, the child will, when you don't entertain the child will then gradually, let you be, leave you alone. and the child may fall off to sleep, and you are free from its disturbance. So like that. So we don't entertain the thoughts. We don't get agitated by the thoughts. We just let the thoughts be as it is. So that is how we meditate. So meditation is simply leaving things just as they are, without being too relaxed and too tense. So when I say too relaxed and too tense, so relaxed means lost in the thoughts. So when meditating, thoughts come, you don't put any effort, and you just get distracted by the thoughts and carried away by the thoughts, and then you don't even know what you're thinking. Suddenly you realize you're lost. So like that. So carry on getting lost this way. No effort put in. So that is too relaxed, or or you go into a deep, a relaxation of sleep, and no more. You don't know what is happening. So this is too relaxed. And then the tense, too tense means too much expectation. This is also a very big problem for a meditator. We have too much expectation of having a good meditation. We want a good meditation, perfect meditation. We don't want to think. We don't want to have this thought, that thought. So there's already too much expectations. So too tense. So how can you relax? You create so much tension in you. So we have to let go of that also. So cannot have too much expectation of such. Just as I told you, be in the moment, be in the present. Let things be as it is. Leave things as it is. That is meditation, and being aware of that. So that is the base, of meditation. So with these in our mind, keeping in our mind, then we do the Schemata, the breathing Schemata meditation. Okay, so now again we sit in the meditative posture, and as I told you, as we have already achieved a calm, somewhat relaxed state through our previous meditation, then we just continue that state for a while. Now, as I told you, either you can keep your eyes closed or open them with a very relaxed gaze. Then as you breathe out, you maintain awareness of the breath that is going out. And then you maintain the awareness of the breath that is paused before coming in. And then recognize the breath that is coming in. And then recognize the breath that is paused before breathing out. So this is one cycle. So we do this way 21 cycles, okay? So we breathe according to our own relaxed, comfortable breath. So no need to try to make the breath long or short or anything like that. Some people have long breath, some people have short breath, it doesn't matter. You just do as you are comfortable with, but try to take complete breath. Not long breath out and then short in like this. A comfortable, complete breath in, comfortable, complete breath out. So this way. Do not follow thoughts of the past. Do not anticipate the thoughts of the future. and do not be involved with the thoughts of the present. Just be aware of the breath pattern with awareness and mindfulness. So you can breathe both through the nose and mouth together, or you can breathe through the mouth or just the nose, whatever you're comfortable with here. Now, once we have reached the 21 breath cycle, then we just stop counting and maintain this calm, abiding state for a while. So if you have time, you can again start from 1 till 21. So you can do that just 3 times or 9 times, or whatever, depending on your time. And then after that, just maintain the calm, abiding state that you have achieved through this Schemata meditation. Now, gradually through this, then we evolve into doing the Tonglen practice, maintaining this state of calm, abiding, aware state. As we know, the Tonglen practice is the practice of physically in reality or by mentally exchanging one's benefits and happiness with others and taking the sufferings and harms of others onto oneself. As the great master Geshe Langri Thangpa said in the 8 verses of the mind training, he says that in short, whether it be directly or indirectly, offer benefits and happiness to all mother beings, and may I in return discreetly receive all harm and sufferings of mother sentient beings. So I have already explained this previously, so I think no need to explain again because of time limitations. So here directly and indirectly is simple. Directly means, we helping others directly. And indirectly means like this, doing meditation and mentally doing such practice of Tonglen. And directly is, physically helping others and able to take their difficulties onto oneself, so like this. Now, such practice are very important and essential to truly overcome the sufferings of samsara and in realizing the ultimate truth for the benefit of all mother sentient beings. As we know, the root cause of all sufferings are the defilements or the afflictive state of mind, such as attachment, hatred, ignorance, ego pride, jealousy, etc. And all these mental afflictions arise from the strong grasping of an inherent existence of a self as I, and then from there arise as mine, and so on and so forth. And in this illusion of cyclic existence, we go round and round, from birth to death, and again to birth and to death, and so on, continuously experiencing all kinds of sufferings of the samsara. As Shantideva states, all the harms in the universe, all the fear and sufferings one experiences, if all this is brought about by the clinging onto the idea of an inherent existence of a self, then what is the need of such a great evil? So it is very clear, that all sufferings arise from this very strong clinging onto this I, trying to always protect and feed this I. And that is where all sufferings arise from. So now understanding clearly the root cause of all these sufferings experienced by ourselves and others, we need to apply antidote to this root cause. And the best antidote to this is the practice meditation of Tomlin Practice, etc. Here is such practice. We directly deal with this I and reduce its magnitude with the practice of exchanging the importance of I to the well-beings of others, also known as the altruistic, practice. So, as Shantideva again says, those who wish to benefit oneself and others immediately, exchanging oneself to others discreetly is the practice to adopt. So this is the Tonglen practice. So here, that way, then Tonglen practice is very profound and very effective in reducing this strong inclination to the importance of the I, and gradually through such practice, then we are able to overcome this to a great extent, and through this, then even the sufferings that one experiences are overcome because we are directly tackling with the root cause of suffering. So many people have sometimes fear of such practice, because they think, doing Tonglen practice means you are exchanging, your well-being with others' suffering. So, it is little fearful to lose all my well-being, give all my well-being to others. Then, I will suffer in taking all suffering of others. Why? I don't want to suffer, so I don't want to give, my well-being to others. Some are afraid of them. And some also, while giving, they do lots of calculation, how much you should give, because maybe you need to keep some for yourself, because if you give all your well-being, then you are left with suffering, so you don't want to suffer, so like this, so people are afraid of such. But as we saw how, in the previous, what Shantideva states, it is really, it works wonderfully by doing such practice, because the root cause of all these sufferings is this I, always so worried about this I, always so worried about the well-being of this I, and this actually really is the cause of all suffering. This is the really evil, that harms us. And there is no, it is said that there is no external evil soul that can harm you. So, we call devil or ghost, there's no ghost or devil outside there. It is this very I, the bigger the I, the more the suffering. So this is the real ghost that we have to defeat. So that way, then through the Tonglen practice, when one is able to let go of this strong inclination to the well-being of this I, and exchange that to the well-being of others, then so that is the first step. And developing on that step, not only that, but able to take in all the sufferings of others, then you are really, applying antidote to this very root cause of all the suffering, which is this I. So through such practice, then automatically you reduce the magnitude of this I. And through this, then you experience great happiness. So no need to worry that you will be left with only suffering or you lose your happiness. Because by doing such, actually, you are developing the conditions for one's own happiness. And of course, you are able to benefit others also. So here also, again, people might, some people have doubt that by just thinking, of doing such practice, like mentally meditating, then it is just kind of a, what do you say, game, not really can help others, because you are not really out there helping physically. But this is not so, because ultimately, there is no out there and in here. All this is a dualistic limitation. So what is perceived out there is perceived through our mind, and the mind transcends all these limitations. So therefore, through such meditation, through the mental visualization, then through the the base that we already how do you say, laid through the the refuge bodhicitta, through the shamatha meditation, then all this through these base, then this practice really becomes profound and meaningful, and it can really benefit. Even such visualization can really benefit practically to beings out there. So very much beneficial. It is not just kind of a mental game. It really practically works that way. So with this, hopefully you understand why we do Tonglen practice and how it benefits. So knowing this, and then we do the Tonglen practice meditation. So here, then first we start by reflecting and adopting the verse on Tonglen practice in the mind training, the 37 mind training, 7-point mind training. So in the 7-point mind training, then the the verse which says the sending and taking should be practiced alternately. These two should ride the breath. So that is our instruction. So on this instruction, then we do the practice. So sending and taking means, sending means giving. So when you send means when you breathe out, then as you breathe out, then we send out all the well-being, the that we enjoy, the good merit, the good health, the well-beings, and the root cause of all these well-beings, then we send out through our breath that goes out in the form of very pure white smoke. We can visualize and then go out, or one can also visualize as a light, white light. So going out through our mouth and nose, and it dissolves into all beings. So you can, in general, all mother sentient beings, and in particular, if you're doing such practice for certain people, then you can visualize these people in particular, but also along with that, all mother sentient beings. That is very important. As we know, as we understand, we have taken the bodhicitta, vow in the beginning. So all mother sentient beings. So including, and in particular, then whoever you're doing such practice at the moment for. So, for example, in the moment we can do such practice for those who are suffering, from this, terrible disease. And to those who are working in the front line, who have so much pressure, so much fear of contaminating the disease. So like this, so we can visualize them and give all the well-being, happiness, so all this to all of them, and this dissolves into them, and they absorb this, and they're able to have all that. And then taking is, and then as we breathe in, then we visualize that all the sufferings, the difficulties, and the negative karma, etc. of these beings, and then in the form of very haze, or a dark smoke, or a dark light, then comes back, riding the breath that is coming in, and dissolves into you directly in your heart direction, or through your mouth, and then enters into your heart direction and dissolves into you. And you are able to dissolve, all the root cause of all these sufferings, and all these sufferings and unfavorable conditions of these beings. And they are freed from all that. And you are able to absorb all that into yourself. So this is how we visualize. So on the breath. So the breath going out and breath coming in. So we send and we take in. So that is how we practice alternately. So that is what it means by sending and taking should be practiced alternately. These two should ride the breath. So our breath it rides. So that is how we do this practice. So now we maintain the meditative posture. So we do this practice now for a while. So now first we maintain a meditative posture as I have explained to you, and then do this practice. So we can close our eyes, or we can keep our eyes open, whichever you are comfortable with. And then first maintain, remain in this calm, abiding state that we have managed to achieve through the Schemata meditation. And in this, then we gradually evolve into the Tonglen practice. So as we breathe out, I have explained to you the Tonglen practice. So we do that. As we breathe out and in, so we do the Tonglen practice. So we do this for some time. We do these practice with genuine sincerity, no strings attached to it whatsoever. Completely wishing to benefit all mother sentient beings, 100%. Very important to have such genuine, sincere motivation. Now, gradually, we stop the visualization and just remain in the state of calm, abiding, relaxed state of being for some time. So today we did a short session because of the time limitation. So normally when you do your practice, you can do for longer and clearly, and again you can do. Now, gradually try to develop as genuinely as possible loving kindness, compassion to all mother sentient beings, recognizing the sufferings they are unnecessarily going through in the samsara, and through this make sincere dedication that may all your practice, such as the Tonglen practice that we have just done, the Schemata practice that we have done, so all these practice be free of all worldly attachments, completely dedicated to liberate all mother sentient beings from samsara by recognizing all phenomena as a mere illusion. Then, with such understanding, we dedicate the merit accumulated through such practice of Tonglen, and you say a dedication prayer here. So again, I requested for the prayer to be put on the screen. So here it says, by this merit may I obtain omniscience, defeat the enemies of my own faults, and free all beings from the ocean of samsara with its stormy waves of birth, aging, sickness, and death. So, and then the next says that when I am happy, may my merit flow to others. May joy and benefit fill the sky. When I am unhappy, may the sorrow of all beings be mine. May the ocean of suffering run dry. So we say this prayer with sincerity and genuinely. Sonam de pamje zibani tolne niebe danam pamje ne jega nachi balap tumbai sibe tole roa show. The next page. Jina deva sosu pende namka chabarash. Dona donghal dage kurwa donghal ji jansu tongbarasho. So we maintain this state of understanding with genuineness for a while. Reflect on these words and mean them genuinely from right bottom of your heart, not just mere words. Okay, now gradually we continue to maintain this kind of a state of mindfulness and awareness, calm, abiding state, and continue this in our post meditation period. So this way, And then the practice of the Tonglen today we conclude. So that is the first part.